Hey, good morning, great and powerful third graders. It is Thursday, December 2nd, December 3rd at Cypress Woods Elementary School. Time for PE again. My name is Coach Hart, as you know. And I'm making this short video before we start our Nearpod lesson, specifically for you guys in third grade, because I want to explain something to you that's going to happen in today's lesson. Some of the lesson is going to use words that you probably don't understand or might not understand because they're big words, they're kind of scientific words, but that's okay. Just stick with it. Let those words seep into you because there will be a day when you do understand them all. Maybe you'll understand them all today. I don't know. In today's lesson, basically, there are two things happening in today's lesson. The first part of the lesson, you'll see me speaking with you, and then you'll see parts of an interview that I did with a genius named Dr. Lynn Kenny. Now, I've had parts of this interview up before, and you may have already seen the interview, and that's okay. But what I've done is I've taken pieces of the interview and I've cut them up into little sections, okay? And they're the key parts where Dr. Kenny is explaining important things about brain primers, the thing that we've been working on lately. The thing I want you guys to understand is that brain primers is a brand new thing, and we are lucky enough to be some of the first schools that have had a chance to use brain primers and actually see brain primers. Now, in my interview with Dr. Kenny, you'll see how she explains in one of the slides. There's about 4 slides of her talking, and she explains how she's going to let us get started with the brain primers, even though the rest of the world hasn't gotten them yet. I want you to listen carefully to the things that Dr. Kenny says, and I want you to think about those things, and I want you to compare those things to the way we do musical exercise. And you're going to begin to see how what we do is really actually quite special and not the same necessarily as what everyone else is doing. And so I think it's great for you. It's one thing for me as your teacher to say, hey, what we're doing is special. It's another thing when we can get somebody who's written books about this stuff, an author, to come right into our class and talk directly to you and say, hey, what you're doing is special, and I work all over the world, and I need you to know how special it is and why it's special. So I want you to watch that the first part of the Nearpod lesson, the first 4 or 5 slides, and understand that you might not understand it all, but stick with it. After that, then you're going to see me up and doing brain primer demonstrations. And when you see me up and doing brain primer demonstrations, I want you to get up as well. And I want you to do those demonstrations along with me. Now, there are a few slides. One is 15 seconds, one is 17 seconds. And if you want to replay those slides over and over again until you get the part on that slide correct, you can do that, because you're going to need to, on those shorter slides, you're going to need to know how to do those things before you can go to the later slides. So I want you to, some of you already know how to do this stuff, and that's great, but you really need to get those steps correct before you move into something more difficult. So you'll see 2 short slides. Then you'll see a slide of me doing the brain primers to slow music. And then you'll see a slide of us using all different speeds of music, all different tempos of music, and us doing the brain primers to all that music. It's going to be really cool. At the very end, there's a quiz. It's 3 questions, and it's easy. It's not a hard quiz at all. But you do have to pay attention to what Dr. Kenny says during her parts so that you can answer the questions correctly. So make sure you watch and listen to Dr. Kenny, okay? All right, then. Have fun today, and I'll see you live tomorrow.